The federal government, Congress, has proposed a federal privacy law. However, it's a very limited federal privacy law. So essentially, what this would do is it would protect targeted classes of individuals. That's a term referencing the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Yes, of 1965, from advertising. So essentially, what this would do is that allowed to be targeted for your protected class status. So if you're a disabled individual, if you are Black or Latino, Latina, or a member of the Asian American Pacific Islander community, or for your religion, if you are a minority religion status. So those things used to be filters that you could use in online advertising spaces. Facebook is actually kind of where a lot of this happens to, to get a certain kind of person to see your ad. Now, there are upsides of this kind of targeted advertising, right? If you think about it, you could say that, hey, I'm just going to use an example that's close to home for me. Hey, I'm, a person who sells Judaica items, kind of Jewish religious objects. I want to target my ads to Jews. Okay, that makes perfect sense, right? You don't want to waste money buying an ad for people to see it who are not going to be interested in your your product based on who they are from a fundamental point of view, right? Totally makes sense. However, one of the things that's interesting, especially about Facebook, is that listings for rent, for renting and buying houses and other items could also be targeted in this way. And this obviously is a clear violation of the idea behind the Civil Rights Act, right? That you can't be discriminated against in housing or sales or stores or things. And now that stores are moving online and people are targeting their advertising, it's going to be impossible for you to see every store that's out there, right? And ads are going to want to reach you based on what they think you're going to want. But what we've seen is landlords might say, oh, I'm going to advertise to people between this age and this age who are white. Now, you could do that on these online platforms, but you can see how that'd be problematic and a clear violation of the law if you were ever to go to court for it, right? The whole point of, not the whole point, but one of the major points of the Civil Rights Act was to stop housing discrimination. And if you can just change your listing so that only white people see it, it's not that you won't take a Black applicant necessarily, but no Black applicant will see it. So therefore, you get the same effect, right? So makes sense. So this bill that has been advanced in Congress essentially would eliminate that kind of advertising. I'm genuinely interested to see what happens with it. The Senate is the place where any good idea goes to die, so I'm pretty convinced that this bill isn't going anywhere. But there aren't a ton of donors behind this, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's entirely possible that there is actually a lobby pushing against this. If I had to guess, it's going to be like the Facebooks, the Craigslists, the Google AdSense of the world. I don't know for sure, though, what their problem with it would be, because people would still advertise on the platform. It's hard to say if there is a genuine effort to push back on this kind of legislation. But as someone who works in privacy myself, I thought this was a fascinating piece of news, and it would actually be really good. I mean, sure, it would hurt some businesses, like earlier, right? I said about the Judaica seller who wants to sell specific items to specific people. They may have to incur higher costs because they'll have to pay for more people to see the ad, and they can't target it as easily. But in a lot more of the cases where there aren't such specific natures of things, you actually want more people to see these ads, as well as the law wants to protect people to allow them to see all types of ads for all types of things that they're interested in based on non-demographic information. So again, a very interesting bill. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I'm not sure where it's going to go. I hope it passes, actually. I think it would be a great advancement in our privacy and civil rights, to be honest, if we got a bill like this passed to stop this type of protected class targeted advertising. But who knows? If there's any follow-up on this bill, I'll certainly come back to it, because I think our rights as consumers to know what's out there in the marketplace aren't often considered in Congress. So If we do get it, I think it'll be a really good thing. Obviously, some people will suffer, but so you can see I'm like a tiny bit conflicted on it. But overall, I think it's a good thing, and I really hope it passes.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, throw a like on it, share with your friends, and subscribe for more of our content. You can also find all of our videos and clips on youtube.com. Just search Let Them Eat Bread and you'll find all of our content. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye for now.